What's happening, y'all? It's your man Earl. Today's August 1st. Can you believe it? 2020. Day 214 on the calendar. And time. You've often heard the expression, time flies when you're having fun. Well, guess what? Time flies when you're having fun. Time flies when you have purpose. Time flies when you have meaning into your life. So, with that being said, we are day 7 of Financial Core Competencies. My humble opinion, one of the 7 core competencies that you need to begin to implement immediately and become a student of. And the last one is debt. And these are in no particular order. Okay? So go back to the last 7 days. You'll see them all. Today's 214 on the calendar, August 1st, debt. And I want to start out with a very basic definition of what is debt. Debt is typically, most often defined as something owed or due. Okay, it's very, very easy, but not well defined. Okay, and this is just a very basic definition. What is debt? Typically, it's something that you owe. Most of the time, it's money that is owed or due. Okay, so when we talk about debt, it is the position or state of owing money. Okay, debt, something, typically money, that's owed or due. What is debt? Is the state or the position of owing money. Okay, that's the very basic definition of debt. Doesn't explain very much, but that's what you get when you look up Webster, when you go Google, when you go to different dictionaries. This is what you find. And this is why most people don't understand what debt is, because I will give you this one. All debt is not created equal. Okay? And this is why it's so easy to fall into massive debt, because we think, most people think that all debt is created equal, and it's not. And I'll give you a very basic example. If you have charge cards, your charge cards most of the time have different interest rates. So, with that being said, your debt is not equal. Some cards have 22, 23% interest. Some credit cards have 3 or 4, 5% interest. Some credit cards have no interest. Okay? Some credit cards have no interest. All right, and that's a strategy that credit cards implement for various reasons, but we won't get into that. We're just talking about debt today. So you have to become a student of debt. What is debt? Debt is being in a position of money owed to someone or some institution. All debt is not equal. Some debt has tremendous interest. Some debt has no interest. And then my last point is, what is the purpose of being in debt? Now, being in debt and borrowing are not the same thing. Make that very clear. Being in debt and borrowing are not the same thing. Okay? Now, are they very close? Absolutely. Okay, because you strategically borrow to get into debt that is strategic. All right? Your debt ought to have a purpose. I'm going to say it again. Your debt ought to have a purpose. And when you borrow, you're borrowing for a particular purpose or an outcome. Okay? I'm getting my pecans in, so pardon me if you can hear me chewing. So this is your man Earl, day 214 on the calendar, August 1st, Saturday. Here we are, closing out a 7-day series on the financial core competencies, in my humble opinion. Debt is the 7th one, and these are in no particular order. Go back, listen to these per day. You need to start beginning to study these individual areas and find out where you're strong at and find out where you are lacking at. And this is a lifelong study. Okay? And when you begin to master these things, and then you begin to move from mastery to superior performance. All right? Being an expert is not enough. Mastery is not enough. What's the goal? Superior performance, which means you perform at a certain level all the time, under any circumstances. Okay? This is your man Earl. God bless you. Debt is the 7th financial core competency that you need to begin to study, become an expert, begin to master it, and then ultimately get to the position of superior performance. God bless you. God keep you. Day 214 on the calendar. I'm up. Peace.